Welcome to the Reidsville Chamber of Commerce News and Views show. Today, I am excited to have back our monthly guest, City Manager Summer Woodard. Welcome to the show, Summer.
Thank you so much for having me again this month. Certainly appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, ma'am. And as the host, I am so thankful to have somebody who is so well spoken about all the things that are happening and updating. And as I shared with you before the show, we had a request about information, and we love to share it, but it's not any better than coming straight from the horse's mouth. So that's why I enjoy having you. So thank you for doing that for us.
And we appreciate our partnership with the Chamber. You guys are such a great cheerleader for Reidsville, and we appreciate you being able to relay that information to our citizens and visitors. So thank you for that wonderful partnership we have.
Absolutely. We love to do it. So let's just jump right in and talk about, there is so much going on, so many fun things and some growing pains and things that we're just trying to make sure that folks are being communicated with and know what's going on. So we'll start with the streetscape because that's something that we've discussed. So tell us where we are. How's it going?
So Streetscape is going very well. We appreciate everyone's patience and understanding as we move through this process. We are on schedule to finish up hopefully here at Mural Park in about 2 weeks, and then we'll start on the 100 block west and move through that hopefully, within a month. So everything is still on track. I know there's a lot of construction going on downtown, but we appreciate everyone's patience. We do have our city crews on site working on Mural Park. We believe we've been able to correct the sinking issue that we were facing. And again, I just want to reiterate that Mural Park will go back exactly like it was. It will have the brick pavers, the retaining walls, so we are working on that. We also have our electrical company that we hired on site. They've been on site for the last couple weeks, starting the electrical phases for our street lights, the fiber, all of that good stuff. We have started that progress, and we're excited that we're right now on track.
Well, kudos to the crews because we are still on track, even after unearthing, I think, some things that were causing the sinking issue that I don't think they were expecting. So y'all have been able to come back and circle and correct those and keep moving forward.
We have, and I have to give a shout out to our Public Works crew and Lindsay Tuttle as the superintendent for that crew. They have went above and beyond, and they have been working out there at some of the hottest days we've had. And we certainly appreciate them going above and beyond, and they do some outstanding work. And if it wasn't for that department, we would not be able to do this streetscape.
Yeah, and they have been awesome. So we have been thankful to be able to talk to them and share water with them and bathroom, and we've even gotten some cheesecake and made sure they got cheesecake. So we're thankful for them as well because we know how important Mural Park is, and we know that the look matters, but we know that all the infrastructure underneath is what we're really after because it just created so many issues. So we're thankful that you all have been able to address that so quickly.
Thank you. We appreciate that partnership.
Absolutely. So I know that other things that are on the horizon, one of the things that we have been talking about is the Teen Center. So tell us about what's happening with that.
So we're very excited for the Teen Center. So, the Teen Center did shut down because of the COVID and the pandemic, but they are rescheduling for a grand reopening on the Teen Center on Saturday, August the 27th from 1 to 4 p.m. So we're inviting everyone to come out. There'll be free food, free activity for the kids, and it'll be a tour of the Teen Center. Local artist Mary Ryan and some other local artists, I just want to give a shout out to them. They have done an outstanding job partnering with the city of Reidsville and creating some beautiful artwork both on the interior and exterior of our Teen Center. So we're really excited to be able to showcase that and all the hard work her and her teammates did to create that facelift and just refreshing vibe of the Teen Center. We're also looking at getting some new gaming consoles. So it's really, really exciting of the Teen Center having their grand reopening right before school starts back.
That's really cool. And I think that the teens were involved with Mary when they were doing that project.
They were. So, and that was another great aspect that she brought, was that she involved the youth because that is their facility. So that was a very exciting that we were able to incorporate that, and she was so willing to work with them and let them share their vision on what they would like to see inside and outside of our Teen Center as far as artwork.
She really is a lovely addition to our community and a lovely lady. And we're thankful for her. So she's doing a lot of projects, and that is just amazing. It makes Reidsville that much more beautiful.
It does, and she has beautiful work, her and her artists do. So please come out and see the Teen Center again, Saturday, August 27th from 1 to 4 p.m.
Fabulous. Thank you for that. I know that another big project people have a lot of questions about is the splash pad. So
Yes.
tell us where we are with that and what council has approved.
So we're very excited with the splash pad. We are moving forward with it. At our city council meeting on Tuesday night, the city council did formally vote on the location of the splash pad, and the location will be at the lower Jaycee Park. I know we've had some questions, is that in the floodway, floodplain, what will that look like? And our engineering firm is working on that. It would pretty much, the site plan would just be shifted upwards to where there would not be a concern about being in the floodway or the flood zone. So that's exciting. So that is the first step, is the location. It has been formally approved. We are going to be looking during that study as well, during the engineering phase, for parking. We want to make sure that parking is a viable option. We may look at trying to expand some of the existing parking that we have. We've also been in discussions with NCDOT to see about possibly putting in some type of crosswalk, because we are hoping that some of our visitors at the splash pad will go and visit some of the other great businesses across the street. We've got Turk's Farmer's Table, Jack's Burger Bar. So we're really hoping that those who are visiting the splash pad might want to go and visit some of our other local businesses. So we are working with DOT on maybe looking at a crosswalk in that area. So location has been approved. We also were able to present a design from Vortex. Vortex is actually the group that did the splash pad in Eden. I believe they've done over 70 splash pad designs in the state of North Carolina. So they're very well versed with splash pads. So it's very exciting for the unveil in which they gave us. The model they recommended for the city of Reidsville splash pad is very interactive, meaning that it focuses on kids, both small children, toddlers, to preteens and teens, having a variety of activities that they can interact with versus just it spraying in one direction. It challenges intellectual thought, and it's also accessible to those children who maybe have mobility issues, that they may be in a wheelchair. They can play with the features just like all the other children can. So we're really excited about this design that was shared with City Council. That design was approved, and the funding was approved. And again, that funding, we're able to do the splash pad because of the American Rescue Funds. That is one part of the American Rescue Funds that we're using, is for the splash pad, because the American Rescue Funds was such a unique opportunity. The City Council and Mayor and city staff, we wanted to be able to showcase and give that back to the community so they can actually visually see the impact of what the American Rescue Funds has had for the city of Reidsville. We could always have put it in water and sewer infrastructure, but at the end of the day, you don't get to see that because that's under the ground. So we're excited that the splash pad was able to be funded through the American Rescue Funds. Again, fingers crossed, we are still shooting for opening day of Memorial Day 2023. As we all know, with supply lines and everything else going on, can't promise that'll be the date, but that is the schedule our engineering firm has proposed to us. So fingers crossed, but we're really excited to move forward with the splash pad. Also with the splash pad, keep in mind, we are working with our engineering firm to add restroom facilities, changing facilities. It would be a fenced-in area so children can be safe. So the design that we have, that we showcase to City Council, is just the equipment itself. So when viewers see that, just keep in mind there's an additional layer that will go on top of that, that will include changing rooms, restrooms, a possible concession stand for later on if we ever wanted to move forward with concessions there, and then also a fenced-in area. So again, just really wanted to reassure visitors, when you see the model, that is just what the equipment looks like, but it will be a building built around it for safety and for public access for restrooms. So very excited with our splash pad.
I think it is very exciting, and the design, all the things that you mentioned, those, you hit the highlights. It's exactly the things that I was thinking about. And I think one of the things that they talked about was the timing and how it's never the same. Can you go into detail about that a little bit more, the way that
So the timing, the really interesting feature with the design in which was selected is the timing of the features, like with the bucket dump, or there's a large scorpion that you'll see in the video. The kids actually determine the timer, which is unique versus it just being on automatic timer, every 5-10 minutes it's going to dump. No, kids actually go out there and they wave a button, so it's very interactive, and they can determine when the bucket's moving, when the scorpion's spraying, when the flowers. It's very interactive in that it puts it back on the children. And I do want to back up just a moment also to say that when we did look at this design concept, we are taking into consideration the parents that'll be there. So that's why we want to improve the facility aspect of it, is to maybe have some lounge chairs out there so your parents can comfortably sit there and watch their kids while maybe they're in the sun or under an umbrella. So we are taking that into consideration too.
And I thought it was really cool how they talked about the dry zone too. So like the spray cans, if they're flipped on a parent, the kids can't spray the parent.
Exactly.
As a parent, I appreciate that. So
that's a very good point.
Very good design, I think, in that. I like how that worked. So awesome. Well, I think it's going to be a really great thing for our families. And is council still of the mindset that it would be free to the public? Or?
Yes,
Yeah.
It would be, and unless mayor and city council determine otherwise, this is a free asset we're going to be bringing to the city of Reidsville at this time.
I just think that the impact that it's going to have visually in that area is going to be really cool too, because it just, they just look neat. You know what I mean? They just kind of have that aspect. So I'm really excited about it.
We are too. Thank you.
What other things can we talk about? Because I know that some things like we do talk about, and then some things we don't. What other things are going on that you would want to talk about that's upcoming?
So one thing, just to kind of give a little bit of a plug, is, as we all know, our fall season is coming up. And I know you're a member of the RDC board, and you guys have worked really hard on getting the F.A.B festival together. So one thing we are looking at City Hall is trying to do some type of display, a fall display at Market Square this year. Maybe do some more photo opportunities. So we've started discussion on that to be able to provide, some photo opportunities for the fall season, similar to our Christmas display. I know with the streetscape going on, I don't know how much we'll be able to put on the streets this year with the hay bales and corn stalks. We will certainly try, but again, kind of a little leery on that, because didn't want to put them on light poles and stuff that might be part of the streetscape removal. So in anticipation of that, one way we're trying to hope to encourage people to come back downtown throughout the fall season is to create some type of small scale photo opportunity at Market Square with some fall displays.
That's awesome. And hopefully you'll be able to incorporate maybe some of the other public spaces too.
Absolutely.
And maybe that will help bring people up the street. So even if you can't do it on the light poles, maybe the different alleys and different public spaces. So
absolutely.
That would be really cool to see. So I'm excited because I know that y'all have some kind of creative vision when it comes to that.
Thank you.
And I know that you're probably already planning and working on how things are going to look for Christmas. So that's exciting.
Very exciting.
Give us an update on the anniversary and where we're at with that. I know you're not a part of all of that and on that committee, but I know obviously you're being kept apprised of some of the plans.
Well, thank you. And we have got a great subcommittee working on that. And I know they've really been working hard on getting some ads together to sell to businesses and local citizens. And then also they've been looking at doing some possible, I believe, Christmas ornaments. And then the really fun one they're working on is a Reidsville board. Mm-hmm. So they've got some really great events planned. I did ask that committee to give an update to City Council and our citizens at our September meeting. So I'm hoping they'll be able to share a little bit more detail on what that committee's been working on for the big celebration of the City of Reidsville 150th anniversary.
And I understand too that there are going to be monthly events next year, and they're going to be some of them tied to already occurring, but I think they're planning to have something every month.
They are. There's several monthly events planned and really capitalizing on the decade. So it's going to be really fun to kick that off in January, and I'm really excited to be able to showcase that from that committee at the September City Council meeting, so everyone can kind of get a preview, because I know they are working on a calendar as well. That way everyone can have access to it and really promote it and get it out there. I know you'll be a big help with that. That shows exactly what's happening each month. I know they've been working on that as well.
I think that's going to be fun to follow. I think
Will
they're
be.
going to have some cool stuff. What about the penthouse and building the addition to that property and the event center? Where are we at with that?
So I'm really glad you asked that. That's a really great project that I know the city's been working on for a couple years now. We're able to secure some grant funding for that, and we've actually made pretty good progress. We actually have got an architect on board. We've approved that plan. And what this facility will do, it will be able to create more of an outside venue, kind of an overflow area to where people can have their reception. And it'll actually, for meeting space, it'll actually be able to hold over 200 people in addition at the penthouse. So we're excited for that outdoor venue that's going to be very nice at the penthouse. But I know, I don't want to speak incorrectly, but I do believe they are hoping for late spring, early summer, trying to get that open and up and going, again, depending on supply and demand issues. But I think that's a great project that the city's been working on for a couple of years, and we're really excited to see that come to light.
It's really going to open up the ability to have more people
It will.
and to be able to move folks from the lawn to inside where there's a cover, but still have that outdoor feel and have
Exactly.
it open to the. So it's very cool, and I think I think that was the last I heard too, was in the spring. So I think that will be a really great addition, not only for weddings and for events, but just like you said, meeting spaces and corporate and business and chamber functions. We've talked about some of that, so that's really going to be a good thing. What are some of the things planned for the lake? Anything new and upcoming? Any additions out there?
So the lake, I would encourage everyone to go out there. We have done some minor renovations with some of our restroom facilities. So we are working on that. And then at the lake, we've got a great Parks and Rec department that's working on trying to get some creative opportunities and different events scheduled at the lake. So we're also working to try and give the exterior of the lake entrance a little bit of a facelift. So we've got some really great landscaping plan for that area, maybe a possible new sign to make it a little bit more inviting entrance into the lake. So, you know, the lake is one of our greatest assets for our community and our visitors, and the city, we need to continue to capitalize on that because that's such a unique recreational opportunity.
It is. It definitely is. Switching gears from Parks and Rec and community and that sort of thing, tell me a little bit about this project at the industrial park that the county and the city are partnering. I know that you're real excited about that.
So I appreciate you bringing that up. So this is a project I believe that our Economic Development Director, Jeff, and the Economic Development Director for the county, Lee Cockrum, have been working on this for a while, and it's been discussed, you know, we really need to do something with the signage. The signage is kind of dated and it needs kind of a facelift. So it's been a great partnership opportunity. We're going to be looking at updating the signs to both entrances. And then the second part to this is putting in some flags that represent all the international companies in which we have in our industrial park in the city of Reidsville, which is very unique, all the different ones that we have. So we really want to showcase that. And I think it's a great partnership opportunity that the city of Reidsville and Rockingham County have been able to work on. The city has committed $10,000 to the project, and we have requested that Rockingham County do the same. I believe it goes to their county commissioners at their September meeting. So we're really excited because I think that showcases a great partnership opportunity between the county and the city to really be able to show our citizens and visitors what a unique opportunity we have in our industrial park with the different companies that are located there.
Absolutely. So those were the things that I, could think about and wanted to ask you. Do you have anything maybe that I haven't touched on that you'd like to update on?
Just encouraging our viewers to tonight's the car show downtown. Appreciate our partnership with the chamber on those events, and just really appreciate the opportunity to be able to come here monthly and interact with you as the chamber director, and just be able to share these great projects that we have in the city of Reidsville. All-inclusive park, I will speak about that for a moment. That's still up and going. We are meeting with the playground equipment company, I believe in 2 weeks. So we are hopeful to have a early spring opening on our all-inclusive park. So we've got lots of big projects going on, and the more we can communicate that to our listeners and our viewers to let them know of the progress so they don't feel like those projects have been left behind, because these are projects for the community members and visitors to be able to take advantage of and enjoy. We're doing this for our community.
Absolutely. And we get those questions a lot, and that's kind of what we were referring to. And so it's nice to be able to provide this opportunity to share with people and say, hey, you want to know what's going on? This is a great, 30-minute segment. Go watch this, and it'll give you everything you want to know. So we're thankful that you're willing to come and spend time out of your busy schedule, because you are doing all of these things and got all your staff working on all of these things. So thank you for that.
Thank you for the opportunity. Appreciate all that you do for the city of Reidsville as well.
Absolutely. We've got a few more minutes. You want to talk about the F.A.B Festival and a little more detail about that, and just so we can give the date and what we're still looking for and some of that. Let's do that.
So the F.A.B Festival, we're really excited about that. I do believe we had a similar festival several years ago, and I know we were hoping to be able to do the F.A.B Festival last year, this spring, and I know with COVID and the pandemic, it kind of put a little bit of a damper on that. So we're excited to be able to unveil that. I know RDC, and I'll let you speak a little bit more about that. You guys have done a phenomenal job trying to get that festival up and going. I know it's a food, arts, and brew, so I believe it's all artisans that are allowed to, vendors we're accepting. So do you want to talk a little bit about, from being on that committee, what you're excited about? Because you guys have put a lot of work into it.
Well, I think one of the things that I would like to reiterate for people is to talk about how we arrived here. We get a lot of questions at the Chamber and the Visitor Center about the festival. And so to be clear, the F.A.B Festival is on the third Saturday. It's on October 15th. And that is the previous date for the previous Jubilee that was downtown. But as we have shared from the Visitor Center and the Chamber standpoint, that pre-COVID, it had been decided that the festival needed a change, right, and needed to be revived and be a little bit different. So, yes, the date of the F.A.B Festival is on the third Saturday, but it's a completely different festival. And it's like you said, it's like the one that we had a few years ago on a Sunday at Market Square, and it is artisan based. And so it's the food, so sort of like food truck rodeo with beverages and the artisans. And so we get a lot of questions about who can come, can I get a booth? And I've explained to people, it is for things that you make. When we say artisans, it has to be something that you crafted. It's not a product that you sell for a company. It's not, we're not doing like organizations and nonprofits who are trying to fundraise or have a bake sale. It's very specific feel that we are going for. I will say the merchants have worked really hard on trying to have their own things, which we highly encourage, and attend those meetings monthly. And we're trying to encourage them to kind of have their own like sidewalk sales and their own events and their own special things that will help bring people down. But part of it just feeds back into that. We're in the growing pains too of the streetscape, so we can't do too much to bring it down the street, but we're going to have this event at Market Square. We do still need some vendors. We have a lot of vendors, but we are still taking some of those vendors. But I wanted to not speak for you, but having said all of that, I know that after the pandemic, like you said, even trying to have this festival, it's not just about, we don't want to spread COVID. It's more about vendors and availability and being able to do, which is the same thing that the Chamber faces, right? Like when we try to have an event, are there going to be people that can come? Are the businesses too short-staffed to cover? How are we going to make this happen? And I know that your staff tried really, really hard to put back together a multiple day festival like we had in the past. And they just couldn't get the vendors.
Could not.
Because so many of them have gone out of business and the things that we were looking for. So I know that you've had to drop back and punt on that as well. And I wanted people to kind of understand and know that it's kind of like a multi-level, thing that has happened. So it's kind of two separate things that are happening, but also people keep trying to put it back together. So I thought that would be a good time to address that with it coming up in October.
No, I appreciate that, and I'm glad you brought that up too, because trying to get entertainment scheduled, to get kids rides available, it was just when we kept trying to have it. It was just, again, a supply and demand issue, and I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of the vendors that we had used in the past, they were out of business or they were already booked for that time of year. So we're excited to see where this can go. Appreciate our Main Street Director, Robin, all of her hard work, but also appreciate the RDC board. I know you're a vital aspect of that board, and this is a great festival, and there's been a lot of work and thought put into that because of those groups.
It has. And it all of that ties to all of our events. I mean, it's the same thing with the tree lighting. We'd had the snow for years and years, and during the pandemic they went out of business and decided to quit offering that because they weren't booking it, and they moved on to other things. So we're all kind of learning how to make things continue to happen for the community, which is why I think some of these other opportunities that will be all year long or during the warm season are really great things that we don't have to plan. It's not all event based anymore. There are going to be other opportunities that are going to be more permanent and available on a daily and weekend basis.
That's a great point.
Well, we are almost out of time. Is there anything else that you want to talk about that we didn't address, or did we cover it all at this point?
I think we covered it all. I look forward to next month as well. We'll have some additional updates and progress reports.
Absolutely. You guys work so hard. That's a lot of updates in a short amount of time, but there's just some really great projects. And I know there are always things working in the background, and I know the council's always working on things. So we appreciate everything that you all do.
Thank you. We have a great mayor, city council, and our city staff. They go above and beyond. We have a great team at the City of Reidsville, if not the best team at the City of Reidsville. And then our partnerships with the different entities like the Chamber, we value those so much. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Team Reidsville. That's what
right.
we are.
Team
We're a team.
Reidsville. Happy Friday.
That's right. Happy Friday. All right, well, that is it for your Reidsville Chamber of Commerce News and Views show, with the addition of our monthly segments with Summer Woodard. So thank you for tuning in. As always, you can find us in downtown Reidsville at 140 South Scale Street, and online with our Facebook and our website, www.reidsvillechamber.org. We look forward to seeing you, and we'll see you real soon.